highly respected chairman of WIPS, my wonderful friend, Professor Dr. Vijay Kumar, our learned Professor R. Venkatarao, our Vice Chairman, a learned person, of course not in law, in management, having at least dozen degrees in management, and I also always tell him that wherever he goes, he shall go from B block. So Department of Law is first. And then our Dean, Dr. Ravindran, our learned Professor Shilpaji. I am thankful to the organizers. I am also there for giving me the opportunity to talk. What is there to talk after this professor? Do you know this professor holds 5 degrees? MA in political science, MA in public administration, LLM, MPhil, PhD. One more thing is there, na? That's all. And then it is his habit since the days of National Law School of India University that he will take much time. In order to contradict or to agree, we will have little time. Now I wanted to say something about the Constitution. Now I will have to say certain things about the points raised by Professor Vijay Kumar. In the morning I was talking to the students and staff of Indian Law Institute. I was touching these points which he has raised, but from a different perspective. I want to show you what cooperative teaching is. I was asking Dr. Ravindran that we will go for cooperative teaching along with Professor Vijay Kumar today, but unfortunately it is online. Only few students we have invited. Otherwise, in the afternoon I wanted that we should take him and we should have cooperative teaching. It was a wonderful experience, my friends. Another wonderful guest of ours, Professor Krishnadeva Rao, Vice Chancellor of National Law University, Delhi. Unlike others, he is a silent taskmaster. Whatever he wants, on time, we will have to do it. But soft spoken, and we will see that his things are done. Coming back to the topic, he was talking about the preamble of the Indian Constitution. He started with that. One has to agree when you listen to him, but also think about certain other points. He says that the values have to be internalized. The first question is that even in the schools of law, how many of us we are teaching the values, instrumental values and goal values of the Indian Constitution? Are we teaching them? Simply we are reading and we are telling certain things. He said, we the people. He did not say state. whatever interpretation you give, we the people, the members of what you call Constituent Assembly, they have framed and given us, or you think on 1st January 1948, the Constitution was referred to the public debate. They have taken views. So, it is we the people, whatever interpretation we give, agreed. When we are in the governance, we the people elect the representatives. And representatives have the duty to secure to all its citizens the goals of the Indian Constitution, namely justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Of course, paternity cannot be promoted by mere words or whatever you write in the Constitution. But what about others? Justice, social, economic and political, you are telling? Do we have, after 71 years of the Constitution, social justice, economic justice or political justice? When you say any right, whether it is justice, liberty, equality and fraternity, 4 things you must remember, my friends. Any right you take. Fraternity assuring the dignity of the individual. It is not dignity as such. Fraternity assuring the dignity of the individual. Whatever may be the thing which you are referring, 4 things are required. Number 1, is it available? Put a question for everything. Who is responsible for that? Professor Vijay Kumar says, we will have to internalize. We are responsible for those things. What for we are electing these representatives? When I was telling in the morning, I told that India suffers from legislative lethargy, executive inertia and judicial overreach. When I say judicial overreach, he will agree with me. He will criticize every decision of the Supreme Court. Okay. Legislative lethargy, how much time they are taking to pass the laws. Where is the justice? They will have to secure it. And then, after availability, justice is available. You should reach it. Accessibility should be there. Where is the accessibility? Whatever may be the cost, you have assured it. Accessibility. Which type of accessibility? Physical accessibility. I was telling the other day, ADR is built upon the failure of Indian judicial system. That is why you encourage, you are not able to mete out justice. Physical accessibility should be there. Economic accessibility should be there. Dilatory, expensive judicial system, you are telling about justice. And the third one, accessibility. Again, informative accessibility. Professor Vijay Kumar was telling, are we giving, extending to the illiterate also? You have this constitution, you have these rights. Second ingredient, that is. The third ingredient, acceptability. Everybody accepts if it is justice. Acceptabilities. Rather, first 2 when they are achieved, then you go for the third one. And quality assurance. What is the quality of justice you are extending? So this is applicable not only to that, liberty, equality and fraternity as well, my friends. And then he was telling, referring to Article 394, wherein certain transitory provisions are mentioned. The remaining things came on 26th January 1950. Even though preamble says it was enacted and adopted on 26th November 1949, the signatures of the members were also placed on 24th January. And specifically, Constitution itself says, as our Professor Vijay Kumar has stated, it will come into force on so and so date. Some of the members have asked, should the preamble also be made as a transitory provision along with the other provisions? Members of the Constituent, there are other chairman, Sir Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, both of them, they said, preamble as a part of the Constitution shall come into effect on 26th January 1950. And then, don't forget, in your enactments, ordinary laws, you call them acts, and constitutional law, you call them as bare texts. In your ordinary acts, the title starts in section 1. How do you call your constitution? Did we read at any time Article 293? Rather, 393? At any time? Short title and extent like what it is called, Constitution of India. And then, how many languages are recognized under the Indian Constitution? If you wanted to have informative knowledge about the Constitution, it should be authenticatedly translated into every constitutional language. 394A is there. Only in Hindi, authenticated version is there, not in any other language. It is a good thing. At least in 1987, they said that let us have an authenticated copy of it. And then, he is like that. He gives points and we will ask us to shout. And then, he was telling about the drafting of the Indian Constitution. And he says, in my presence, it is best written Constitution. When we were teaching trade and commerce, my friends, provisions, from Article 301 to 307, he was blaming like anything the constitutional makers.
Still it is good, well written.
That is what I am saying. So, you see that. He says that it is well written, and then starts the first problem, lengthiest constitution. You see the logic. It is lengthiest constitution, no doubt. Why it is lengthiest? Number one, if you see the observation of Ambedkar, he said, for every exception under Article 19, one example I am giving, there will be a case in America, we are not going to leave it to the Supreme Court to decide. We are making explicit the prohibited markers in the Constitution itself. That is why it is lengthiest. And then, when we were discussing about 105, Article 105 and 194, he would criticize why these privileges and immunities are not codified. Still we are dependent upon the British Constitution. No political party will do that. Once they pass laws, they are subjected to the provisions of the Constitution. That is why privileges are not codified. If you add those things also, it will become further lengthiest constitution that Yugoslavia will not stand with us. That was another problem he was referring. And then, my friends, he was referring to, that is also in my presence, he does all these things. Right? Dharma, duty. When Indian Constitution was adopted, one of the members lamented, my friends, I wanted to hear Veena, but I am hearing Western music. The reason is that Indian constitutional setup insofar as rights are concerned is based upon Hoffieldian classification, rights giving rise to duties. Whereas our system, ancient system, says if the duties are perfected, automatically your rights are taken care of. So if you wanted to bring in that one here, it will not fit into the constitution, my friends, because it is half-Indian classification of rights and duties, not based upon our dharma or duties like. And another thing which I wanted to tell you, expansive interpretation. Originally, when we started with A.K. Gopalan's case, literal interpretation we were giving. Slowly, we went to intention seekers, what our Constituent Assembly members stated. Now they take cue from Ambedkar's statement that it is flexible constitution, so we can interpret in any manner. Of course, nobody would object. From Maneka Gandhi onwards till today, how many doctrines were passed, how many doctrines have been imported rather, whether it is chilling effect or indirect discrimination recently stated in Lieutenant Natasha's case by D.Y. Chandrachud. Several things were brought. But in this process, as he stated, it is enigmatic approach. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they do not do it. In Shreya Singhal's case, they imported doctrine of chilling effect. As he stated, unnecessarily, the judge himself has stated that we need not depend upon the American cases. But he quotes into number of pages, 597 pages or so. Sir, we are... no, he enjoys, sir. He enjoys, definitely, 100%. I know him, na? No. We enjoy. We enjoy this type of discussion. And I am also closing this discussion because I should not take more time. This another taskmaster, rather created by you, he will not or she will not allow me more than 15 minutes. I have already exceeded. I will keep quiet. Just 1 or 2 points I tell. Next one. In Shreya Singhal's case, they said, Article 19, Clause 2, 8 prohibited markers, they are there. 66A is there, Section 66A of Information Technology Act. They said it is void. Even 10th class student would say that it is void. Because it is copied from, as he rightly pointed out, Section 10 of Post Offices Act of England, wherein there is no written constitution. And then, what prevented the court from reading down, which they have stated in, what is that case? They read down Article 377, Navtesh Singh case. They read down Section 377 IPC. Why can't they adopt the same method or make it void with regard to the provision of sedition under Indian Penal Code? In the open court, they made a comment that why you are continuing this colonial provision. Agreed. They got an opportunity in common cause case, but they are not able to do it, my friends. So, what Professor Vijay Kumar was telling, it is a bit inconsistent, their approach. They may travel from intention seekers to pragmatism, transformative constitutionalism, they have stated. Why they have omitted living constitutionalism as it existed in America. So, these are the things wonderfully, yes, proposed 5-point program to think. And then I am very happy once again after a gap of, I think, 4 years. 4 years we are together and also talked about the provisions of the Constitution. And then, as I have told you, he is a very, very learned person. When he is invited, definitely, at least I take only 1.5 hours. He takes no lunch, nothing, it goes on. So, this is the type of discussion, this is the type of the constitutional law class which you will have to face, my friends, not merely this covering of the syllabus. That can be done at any time, rather within 1 hour, we can say this constitution syllabus is over. But you will have to develop that critical thinking about the Indian constitution. I shall thank profusely my learned colleague, erstwhile in National Law School of India University, Professor Vijay Kumar, a wonderful person, 5 master degree holder he is. So, thank you very much. And I also thank Krishnadeva Rao ji. I request him to give some message to our students and then enter into this MOU. One point with regard to MOU is that not merely signing the MOU in the presence of the chairman of whips that will serve the purpose. Even chairman also will not agree for merely signing. It should be followed by collaborative programs. Cooperative programs, both are different of course. In one collaborative program, already Professor Vijay Kumar was telling about an international conference sponsored by ILO. Okay, we will join hands. Wonderful it is. Thank you very much, my friends.